Oh, I don't have a tweet ready. Oh, yeah. Me. Oh, no.
Waiting for the tweet. Waiting
It's
for the
coming.
tweet.
It's coming. It's coming.
Waiting for the tweet.
No, just go.
Getting the fire extinguisher ready
What
for
the?
the fiery tweet.
All
We
right, all
don't
right.
have a tweet yet.
Just go.
All right. Welcome to the UFC Vegas 46 tweetless post-fight show here on MMAfighting.com. We just wrapped up one hell of a main event between Calvin Kattar and Giga Chikadze, and in the end, Calvin Kattar went out there and just put a whooping on Giga Chikadze. And to Chikadze's credit, the man fought to the end. His chin is going right next to Kattar's inside the Durability Hall of Fame, and it was just a tremendous way to cap off the first event. I mean, talk about momentum heading into the first pay-per-view of the year. That fight definitely brought it. Calvin Kattar landing 73 significant strikes in the fifth round, almost put Chikadze away. Incredible performance from the Boston finisher. What a bounce back it was. And he gets the job done. He is back on track. Giga Chikadze will learn a lot about himself moving forward heading into that fight. But I am Mike Heck, Prince of Positivity. Mr. Alexander K. Lee is here. How are you, sir? We're back again. It's only 10:11, so that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I feel fresh. I feel alive. I feel vital. That card built up to a great main event. It was the rest of the card super memorable? Nah. I mean, but this was this was our first UFC card of the year. It maybe wasn't, again, it was decimated by a lot of withdrawals. So this is what they got put out there. I think every fighter that went out there today put in a really good effort, whether you enjoyed the I'm gonna say, wait, hold on. Why do you laugh?
No.
Why do you laugh?
You sound like you're a Little League coach. Great effort, kids. Great
Yeah.
effort. We're all winners.
It's a compliment sandwich. We're getting the compliment sandwich.
Listen, I think when the UFC puts together a card like this, which is rightly criticized, there's a lot of names on here that people aren't familiar with, and some people debuting. Then, whatever happens, you still have to give credit to the fighters, and in this case, not just for showing up, but I do think everyone who fought today fought really well, win or lose, and I hope everyone gets compensated properly.
Casey,
glowing review.
Glowing review. Casey, how are you? Did you enjoy the fights as much as AK did?
Actually, I thought the fights were great tonight. Yeah, there were a few big names, but you know what? It had a main event, and the main event freaking delivered. That was worth what the 1 month hiatus we've had from big UFC fights. So it feels good to be back. Feels good. That was a fun fight. That was an excellent fight. Excellent fight. Good card. A lot of new up and comers, some vets and everything. Got a Jake Collier knockout. That was heavyweights doing heavyweight things. So yeah, good times. Good times actually.
Yes, let's get into the main event, and then we'll talk about some of the other highlights before we go to the peeps. I have a feeling the peeps are going to have a lot to say about this card and might be carrying this post-fight show. By the way, I'm not watching the Patriots game because they didn't go to Buffalo. They didn't show up. They're just getting their asses kicked. So there's no pressure here. We can focus on fights altogether.
Or maybe the Buffalo Bills are just having a great game, and they're just the better team.
Is that
a possibility?
Casey, that is the right way to look at it.
And,
No.
Clearly, you have not watched. Listen. Clearly, you have not. Listen, Buffalo is whooping that ass, but at the same time, the Patriots are not there. Like, they're not tackling. It's just awful. They're playing flag football like a bunch of 12-year-old Pop Warner players against the Buffalo Bills. But that's neither here nor there.
Are we done with that? We get out.
Yes.
Don't.
Wait,
Casey,
Calvin Kattar probably watched the first quarter of the game before he went out there.
Oh, there we go.
I'm firing him up. Casey, this is an MMA show. This is an MMA show. And in MMA, when one person, whoever wins a fight is great, and whoever loses is trash. So that is what is happening with the Bills and New England now. It's not that the Bills are so good. It's that they're okay, and then New England is terrible. So but that's again, this is how we look at MMA fights as well. Casey, can you grab? I'll just read it out first. Daniel Edwards says, "I'm a Mike Heck stan. He needs to revoke his New England citizenship tonight for picking Giga. #Benedict Arnold."
Okay, so here's the thing. And me and
wow,
AK
we're going right here.
Me and AK. Me and AK were talking about this right before we hit record. I literally laid out exactly how the fight was going to go. I did everything right except pick Kattar. Like I literally, I laid out the blueprint of the entire fight. I just didn't pick the fighter. It's crazy. And I mean, what can we say about Calvin Kattar? The dude didn't listen to anybody. He just went out there, and maybe he did listen to everybody. He used his locker room material, used it to build this chip on his shoulder that he likes to build. And what kind of kept going through my mind, and I'll start with you, Casey, is something you said during the preview show. A lot of people's picks were based on the guy that fought 364 days ago against Max Holloway, when one of the bigger points that should have been discussed was a year is a long time to grow and evolve, whether physically or just being a sponge in the gym and just visualizing different things. It's a long time to get better, and Calvin Kattar certainly got better. What did you think of his performance? Because I'm not surprised, but 50-44, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are surprised Kattar won. I think all of us are kind of a bit shocked with how incredibly dominant the win was. 50-44, that's very, yeah. I think I'm assuming a 10-8 for round 5. Yeah, I have no issue with that score. Yeah. Because I think we're not surprised how Kattar won because, yeah, this was the way Kattar had to win. Pressure, wrestling, great boxing, great chin, and just being tough. The kicks he did eat, the first 90 seconds or so, he ate them, he survived them, and then when he got that first takedown, I think that first takedown, not takedown, Giga, I think, threw that kick and slipped, and man, Kattar was just like, boom, like his reaction time, just he got that, I think grabbed his bag, got him taken down, and Giga never got off the mat for the rest of the first round. And after that, there was just basically, I don't know how much energy Giga lost that first round, but he did not have the kicking power for the rest of the fight. And without those kicks from Giga, he was not going to win. And Kattar was just got to do his thing, and we got every bad thing that we saw in the Holloway fight was like on the other end. Now we just saw like every great aspect of Calvin Kattar, and I'm not sure what the record is, but that had to be the most standing elbows I've ever seen in a single fight. It was just incredible performance from Calvin Kattar. Welcome back.
How nasty are those step-in elbows, AK? Oh. I mean, those step-in elbows. There's one point where he threw one with the right and then threw one with the left, and then threw one with the right. Like his 3 consecutive shots to the face were step-in elbows. Like it was just ferocious to watch. Giga Chikadze his face was an absolute mess when this fight was over. What did you think of the step-in elbows, adding that to the arsenal? Tyson Chartier, the whole team just putting that game plan together, the way that was such a valuable weapon in the fight, and just Kattar's overall presence in the fight, because it almost seemed like I know the wherewithal was there. He had in mind his P's and Q's, but by like midway through the second round, AK, it seemed like Kattar was not worried about a single strike Giga Chikadze had to throw in terms of the power coming at him.
He made it his fight. And I know that's a cliche thing. It's a lot of fighters say they're going to do, but when you're against someone as skilled as Giga Chikadze, it's definitely much easier said than done. And that's what he did. Like you said, after the second, he kind of took over. And I'm sure he was still very respectful of Giga's skills. I'm sure he was still minding his P's and Q's on the feet. But he knew, he's like, look, I am the more, well, is he? Yeah, I have a little more UFC experience. I've faced better competition. I'm the one who should be taking over here, and I'm just going to do it. And again, everything I say here falls into the easier said than done category. But I mean, you saw those elbows. I mean, you don't throw those against a striker of the level of Giga unless you have a ton of confidence. And I'm sure once they started landing, then he found the timing, and he was able to do it more frequently and with more success. But you're right. It's just not a tactic we see spammed, for lack of a better term. I mean, usually you got to use those somewhat strategically, and he was just landing them. Any one of those could have been a knockout blow as well. I mean, we see all kinds of crazy elbow knockouts when we're covering, like Missed Fists, the regional and like international MMA scene. Usually one of those sends some guy like spinning in a 360 and collapsing against a fence. So yeah, credit to Giga, I guess, not necessarily for defending them, but for being able to absorb them and somehow make it the full 25 minutes, because he took a lot of damage in this fight. And it was kind of crazy to see Kattar be the, we always say hammer and nail in MMA. He was definitely the hammer this time. And look, if he got better from the Holloway fight, I think Giga will get better from this fight as well. Will he have the luxury of being able to of not fighting for a year? I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe he won't. Maybe we don't see Giga until next January. But and if that's the case, I think he'll be vastly improved. Otherwise, either way, I think you get better from a fight like this. You have to take these kind of losses in your career sometimes. And health wise, not great for you. But from a skill standpoint, excuse me, and from a competitive standpoint, this is where you have to be taken before you are ready for someone like an Alexander Volkanovski, which he thought he was.
Now, if you are watching this right now and you're thinking, "Oh, I got to wait for Giga Chikadze and Calvin Kattar to show up to the post-fight press conference on somebody else's feed," you don't have to worry because they ain't going. Kattar's probably like, "I'm going to watch the rest of this crappy Patriots game," and Giga's obviously going to the hospital. I'm sure Kattar's going to the hospital. They're both going to the hospital, I'm sure, after a fight like that. So they will not be at the press conference. You could stay right here with us and ask us a bunch of questions. Casey, I also liked one point that we discussed as well, is that Kattar is going to go for takedowns, but it's not going to be plan A, because just the mere thought that Kattar could actually land a takedown is going to be enough to shake Giga's confidence a little bit. And you saw it. Kattar took some even like haphazardly shots, but they were enough, like just to get Giga's attention and make him think. And Kattar's like, cool, I didn't get the takedown. And then he would just elbow him in the face 15 more times before the round came to an end. So how important was him just giving the notion that I could change some levels here? Because that I think that made such a huge difference. I mean, obviously the first takedown was such a momentum swing, but even just like the 2 or 3 other times, he was just able to just grab a leg, maybe let it go. It was such a difference maker.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we. I mean, I think they even joked. I don't know if it was this fight, but the Bisping even joked about it in some other fight. Like, wow, they are mixing the martial arts, and that's what we literally saw. It was a cruise that they were making fun of each other, but I think they're stealing my gimmick too. Jeez, what's that?
They are.
But no, and that's what won the fight. Kattar's the wrestling didn't win the fight, but just having the threat of wrestling won the fight. And like Dominic Cruz said throughout the fight, that forward pressure that they were giving Giga, him having to walk backward, him not being able to use his kicks the way he wanted to use, and then obviously have to worry about the takedown, expending the energy to stop the takedown. Like, all those things are second nature to Giga. So he's using a lot of mental energy, and that's just as important in a fight like this. So it's I think that year out of the cage for Kattar, I think him and his coaches did an amazing job improving him and getting him ready for the fight tonight. And man, it was just I don't want to say y'all must have forgot about Calvin Kattar, but dang, I think I forgot how good Calvin Kattar can be, and we got to see it tonight.
Do you guys, and AK, you can start, and then Casey, you can answer this as well. After this performance, do we look at Kattar and say, 2 more wins, this guy could fight for a title? Like, we're back at this point. Is he an official title contender right now, AK?
Yeah, yes, and I think we felt he needed this. I think a loss to Giga really would have put him in that role that the UFC likes of well-known, exciting action fighters, which again, a great way to start a career, but someone they don't feel obligated to push towards a title. Now he's just in there. The first UFC loss for Giga Chikadze, a guy who I think the UFC was definitely eyeing as someone like, yeah, we're gonna get behind this guy. Should he win? He's headlining this. Should he get past Kattar? We put him on that path towards the Volkanovski and Zombie winner, or the Volkanovski Holloway winner, whenever that happens. Calvin Kattar really, really, really needed this. I personally would have sworn him off as a contender if he had lost this fight, even if it had been as exciting as this one, where like let's say it had gone the other way and Giga was putting on him, and Kattar was like, just like last year, was looking like tough as hell. I still would have been like, well, you're an exciting punching bag. You're going to be around for a while. Good for you. You're not championship material. He looked like a guy who could go 5 rounds with a Volkanovski. He went 5 rounds with Holloway. It was lopsided, but he went 5 rounds with Holloway. So he needed this a lot. Absolutely 2 wins away. 2 wins away against the right names. Maybe he fights Ortega at some point. I don't know, right? A win like that puts him right in the title picture. So big, huge victory for Kattar, and what a way for him to start off his 2022 campaign.
I absolutely. I think Kattar. I think even more. I think Kattar is one win away. I think Yair fight, Ortega fight. Unfortunately, I think all the other top featherweights, are they all coming off losses? I know they got like Emmett and guys like that, but they're kind of not in the top 5. Are all the? Yeah, I'm thinking, who am I missing? Yeah, really depending on Holloway's injury status, but dude, I would have no issue with Kattar if he fights a Ortega or a Yair if he wins that fight. Yeah. I have no issue with Kattar getting a title shot. This is all dependent on Max's, obviously his health issues or whatnot. So
yeah,
I mean, but Kattar's there. But Kattar's back. Kattar is there. That's all. He's in the mix, like the real upper echelon mix. Kattar's there.
Yeah, because Giga is 8. Giga's 8. Kattar's 5. Zombie's 4. Holloway's 1.
Whoa! What are these? Whoa! Hold on! Whoa! What are these ranked? What is this? What are these random numbers you're reading off? Excuse me?
I know.
Listen. Hold on. No, wait a minute. No, Giga is number 8. Was number 8 in the MMA Fighting Global rankings. The only rankings that matter. Kattar was actually number 10, and will now move up and take his.
But the UFC doesn't look at our rankings when they determine who fights who.
My freaking ears.
Listen. No one has blown up our rankings better than I have. I mean, maybe you and Al-Shadi more than anybody, but
yeah, probably.
We have everybody saying that they're the only rankings that matter.
Okay, you're right.
That's not just a statement. It's life. It's life. It's not just a T-shirt. It's the real thing. It's not just a slogan. AK, we get it.
I don't need to be so defensive. Okay, my therapist told me this.
Okay, last thing on this, and then we'll move on to some of the other stuff because we're still waiting bonuses, I believe. I threw this out on Twitter. For the most part, people seem to like it. Other people, of course, there's always going to be 1 or 2 people who say other silly things. But here's the question. AK, and I'll start with you. Did Giga Chikadze overlook Calvin Kattar? Can we even paint that narrative in any way here? Because some people are painting it right now. Oh, he called for the title shot. Threw the 500 strike line out there. Said Volkanovski made a mistake. He's a wuss. Picking the worst fighter of the bunch. Did he overlook Calvin Kattar? Can we even paint that narrative in any way?
Yes, he did, but no, it did not have anything to do with how this fight went today. I don't think any version of Giga beats this current version of Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar was, like I said, was sensational today. I think if this version of Calvin Kattar fought Max Holloway that from a year ago, I mean, I'd still pick Holloway to win. I just don't think he'd take this kind of lopsided smackdown. I really think he learned from that. And I think, like I said, this right now is peak Kattar and probably getting better. And Giga, like I said, Giga will get better. I don't think we've seen the best version of Giga Chikadze. So did he overlook Calvin Kattar? I think clearly he did. I think just the talk, I mean, some of it, from his manager, most likely. But I do think there's a part of him that believed whatever was out there, whether he typed it himself or not. I do think he believes I could fight Volkanovski tomorrow. I should be, I am able to become a world champion. I think he really, really believed that. But I don't think that affected his performance in such a way that should be the overarching narrative. Like, oh, if he hadn't overlooked him, he would have won this fight easily. No, Kattar wins this fight. This version of Kattar wins this fight 9 times out of 10. So, I mean, it's a little more salt in the wound for Giga and Giga's team, but it takes nothing away from Kattar, and I hope people don't just think it was just this mental thing that took away from Chikaze's performance.
1,000,000% correct.
I'm going to actually say something a little different. I think by him saying that, I think it made Kattar even a tougher fighter tonight because that's the type of guy Kattar is. Sure. He's that he heard it all. He heard it all.
100% he did.
So that's why I don't think Giga overlooked him. I think it even gave Kattar more fire in that cage tonight. And you know what? And those when those last 2 rounds when their faces are all mangled up, you need something. You need something that's going to drive you and finish that fight strong. And I just think it was a mistake by Giga to even put that out there. I said Korean Zombie is the easy fight. No one has ever said that about Korean Zombie. He's the easy fight. Get out of here, man. So it's just weird approach by Giga.
Right, but let's paint by numbers here. Yeah. Is Giga the one actually coming up with this on his own? Probably not. We know who his manager is. I'm sure there's being chirps in the ear, some texts being sent. I mean, I would bet a sizable amount of money that this wasn't coming from Giga personally. This was a team thing and didn't start with Giga. So great win for Kattar. Giga is going to grow tremendously from this fight.
And why did Giga vote for Biden? Why did Giga vote for Biden?
Oh my
Come on, Giga. Come on, Giga. That was so weird.
That was weird.
That was weird.
I mean, hey, listen. Now they could probably make that fight.
I like Bellagio. That was. Hey, Bellagio.
That was an awesome fight.
He did his own booking. He said, I hope that Giga gets his butt kicked by Kattar tonight, and then we make that fight happen. Well, hey, half that's is done now.
All right.
Give him the fight. All right. Let's see what else. We're still waiting on bonuses, by the way, and we'll let you know. Oh, do we want to play the bonus game?
Yeah.
It should be pretty easy. It should be pretty obvious. We can still play it.
Fight of the night, main event.
Yeah.
Jake Collier.
Yep.
And Mr. Body Shot, Stanislav.
Borshchev, yeah.
There you go.
Stanislav. What is his name?
It's Vyacheslav. Just go on. Just do the last name. Borshchev.
Okay,
Borshchev.
Yeah.
Just do the last name.
And
Bellagio, Brito would probably be the fight of the night if it's not the main event, but
right.
Yeah.
And that might be one. Like, listen, it might be too one-sided. Yeah. It might be too one-sided to get the fight of the night. Maybe Kattar gets a bonus.
They love guys getting beat.
Listen, if Kattar could get a bonus for getting his ass kicked by Max last time, he should get a bonus for doing the ass kicking this time. All right, it's only fair. I'd be very upset if I was him.
Because Jose Aldo and Rob Font did not get the fight of the night when that clearly was the fight of the night.
Yeah.
On that December card.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
But okay.
Yeah.
So Jay Collier, good win. Nice finish. Yeah, we all predicted Jay Collier would win by first round submission, right? Everybody on earth. We all predicted that. That's why the line was plus 1,100. Yeah. Brandon Royval versus Rogerio Bontorin, split decision. Thoughts on the scoring and the hashtag Tapgate that occurred during that fight?
I don't believe it was a tap. Anyway,
certainly merited questions.
I
thought the same thing.
You know what? We need to see the camera angles. The camera angle we're looking at, you can't see the space between hand and the leg. There's a lot of things we can't see, and the ref was right there, and the ref didn't do anything. So I think, and Royval didn't indicate that I felt a tap. So I think, regardless, I think this is one of those weird fights where I actually scored it for Bontorin, but Royval clearly won the fight.
Yeah.
And I'm happy the right person won the fight, even though if I was a judge, I would have actually given it to Bontorin, unfortunately. That makes sense.
Yeah, the judges got this one right. I thought Royval was more offensive. I thought even off his back, I thought he was more offensive. I thought he was, again, the one sort of pushing the fight, as it were. So yeah, and not just, I don't mean that in a way as in like marching forward or putting himself in bad positions to just like throw wild stuff. Like I thought whatever position they were in, I just thought he was the one who was pressing the action and effectively. So yeah, I had no problem with the decision. Again, a Bontorin decision probably wouldn't have driven me crazy either. I didn't think he tapped at all. I know I see a lot of comments saying like he definitely tapped. I don't know how you can say that. Like it was. Are you like? Is your hand not allowed to sort of flail across? Like a tap, I think most of us would agree. It's not a rule that has to be multiple taps. You can tap once, and if a referee recognizes it, then it's you tapped out. It looked like a single. If it was anything, it was like a single tap at most. And I don't think he tapped. I think he was reaching to grab the leg or just flailing. It happened so fast. I think. I didn't love the commentary team being so insistent that it was that they thought it was a tap. I don't know, because then this creates this conversation. I know what people say. And it wasn't just the commentary team. I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying it as well. But Casey, you said all the reasons. Royval himself didn't seem too bothered about it. So probably because he got the win.
But I didn't even see a reaction from him during the fight. It was all like, "Hey, what happened?" There was no indication that he even loosened the grip. Like that's the whole theory of a fake tap is I didn't tap. Your opponent's supposed to loosen the grip and then you get out. So and that never happened. I mean, I felt like from Royval. So that's all. And unfortunately, we should be talking about how freaking awesome the freaking men's flyweights are. I was gonna say flyweights in general,
I will say flyweights in general.
I will say, yeah, you're right. That fight, I love the grapple. First of all, I love that fight. And I just love the completely different grappling styles they had. And I think Dominic Cruz had the best description ever when he called, Royval's jiu-jitsu was like a wet fish. which I was like, oh yeah, you're right. And Bontorin, he was just so strong. He was like almost like a Sean Shirk of flyweights. He was just so strong, didn't waste any movements. He was just very fundamentally just kept position, kept the hips tight, kept the knees in, and just kept advancing position. And it worked great until it did until Royval really opened up. And then the great commentary team did a great job tonight, noticing that, oh wait a minute, Royval had a stand-up advantage, but also it looked like Bontorin, when he was on his back, clearly wasn't as dominant a grappler when he was on his back. And Royval actually dominated the fight once he was on top. And I think that was, if Royval wanted to kind of done that from the beginning of the fight, completely different fight.
I think I found a fan base that's worse than MMA fans, like really fickle MMA fans. It's Buffalo Bill fans. No,
stop it.
We're back here.
Oh, they're rubbing it in. It's unbelievable.
I
had to check our friend Cole Shelton because he's like, this all runs through Buffalo. I'm like, you got like 20 more years of winning before you can even say anything like that. You beat the D team Patriots tonight with a rookie quarterback. Congratulations, dude. What happened when the GOAT was there? You got blasted week in, week out. Good teams, bad teams, you got spanked. So congratulations. Enjoy your win. Ask Ariel Helwani how good of a Patriots fan I am. I'm a very clear Patriots fan. And even your boy Ariel said the same things about that first game that I was saying, that Belichick just ruined your head coach. You guys did well. You came back, so good for you. We have bonuses, people.
Thank God.
It's what we thought. Borshchev, Collier, performance of the night. Main event was the fight of the night. Cool. Yeah. So there you go.
Very simple. Very simple.
50K, or have they upped the prize money? Any,
actually,
they had such a great year last year.
They dropped it to $49,999.
Oh wow, what a deal! What a deal!
Hey,
what a deal!
It's hard out there. It's hard out there.
Taxes, dude. Once you hit the 50 mark, you get crushed with taxes.
Yeah,
so they're like, the UFC's trying to save the fighters some tax money.
I want to say so for anyone who listened to the pre-fight show, or was it on the previous show I said it? And I think it was on the preview show, and I was asked about the gymnast, or was it the pre-fight show? Anyway, one of the shows we put on before the cards about the potential gymnastic score for this card, guys. I said this card could be as high as a 7 at most. I don't think it has the potential to be like a 8, 9. On the score. If everything goes right, it's a 7. It's a solid card. We remember. And I think my estimation, like my degree of difficulty setting there was just right. Probably fell a little bit short, but the main event, I'm already bumped it up into the 6 point something range. It was a great fight. That's a fight we will be talking about, I think, by the end of the year, as we were with Holloway and Kattar, which also happened in January. So I know we have the memory of goldfish sometimes, but this was a very good fight, especially. And again, it storyline wise, it's going to say a lot for both guys, because depending if Kattar somehow ends up with a title shot, we'll remember this fight. If Giga bounces back or doesn't bounce back, we'll remember this fight as sort of a turning point in his career, either negatively or positively. So that was great. So the main event, well booked, great matchup, awesome fight. I don't think the UFC could have asked for more. The rest of the card is what it was. We had 3 newcomers. Borshchev looked great. Brito looked good too. Brito looked good against Algio. That was a fun fight. Joseph Holmes, I thought that it was okay against Jamie Pickett. Not the most exciting fight, but very competitive. But otherwise, yeah, unfortunately, it did have a bit of a listless feeling for a while through the prelims.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was just no stakes. That's all. I mean, there were good fights like Court McGee, seeing Court McGee do Court McGee things. Mm-hmm. Brian Kelleher, that was a good win. But that was right. Yeah. That was a good win, and then I don't remember too much from the TJ Brown.
No, there wasn't much to remember.
Fight. I don't remember.
TJ Brown, I should say, fought a really smart fight for a guy. He knew he was facing probably a more talented fighter than him, probably a more experienced fighter than him in the UFC. But the guy is on short notice, so it's like, you know what? I'm going to be smart. I'm going to use my wrestling. I'm going to control him. This is probably one of the toughest things, like, if you don't have a full camp to deal with.
Now I'm remembering that fight now.
Yeah,
I actually was impressed by TJ Brown and how he looked like he was like just one step ahead of Rosa on the ground. It was actually a pretty fun. Pretty fun fight. Yeah.
Yeah, which he was. Maya Chookagian, I think, was better than most people expected. I thought it was a fine fight. It was a good fight.
It was a good fight. Man,
I'm not saying it's like the fight of the year. It's a good fight.
Chikaze, her jab was awesome. Her jab was freaking awesome. She doesn't make mistakes, and Jennifer Maya just didn't have enough weapons. I just like, throw a freaking left hook, throw more than 2 punches, do something. Yeah.
Commentary was killing her. Killing her on that.
Because we know Jennifer Maya has more potential, but for some reason she gets kind of in this bit of a combo loop in her head, and that's what we see tonight. And she just has more potential. We've seen it before. It's just sometimes that's what we get. But also give credit to Caitlin for kind of creating that mindset for Maya too. So
she knows how to win MMA fights.
Apparently, that was the last fight in her contract too.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Chikaze? Oh.
I wonder. 3-fight win streak now. Well, it's a trick.
Be a free agent. Now's the time. Go to Bellator. Like, if you have the chance to go to Bellator, guess what's going to happen if you go to Bellator? You're going to fight for the title in, like, your first fight.
Yep.
Because you're not getting a title shot in the UFC anytime soon unless you jump up a weight class or go down. And you're not fighting Valentina for an awful long time. So if your goal in the sport is to be a world champion, you should probably explore free agency right now, right?
And look, they probably view her a bit like they viewed Ryan Bader when they just let him go, because he was also coming off a win streak, if I recall. Ryan Bader, Corey Anderson as well. Obviously, Corey Anderson, another guy who was winning, went out winning. But the UFC does this math: is this person quote unquote a needle mover? Their favorite phrase to use. Will they be fighting for a title anytime soon? How much do they want? Of course, we don't know. Well, we probably won't be able to get those exact numbers, but cost effectiveness. Do people tune in to see Caitlin Chookagian? Right. So these are all things they're going to consider. And obviously, if merit matters, they should re-sign her and they should give her what she deserves.
But we know that doesn't.
This is sport. This is sports entertainment. Yeah, let's be honest here. This is sports entertainment, and if they don't deem her valuable in that sense, then they're just going to let her walk. So it could work out well for both parties. It could be UFC saying, "Well, we don't want to have to deal with her knocking off contenders anymore. Yeah, so you're free to go." And Chookagian. Go somewhere else.
Yeah, a lot of matchmakers, they kind of hate fighters like Chikagian for that sole reason. All they do, they're good fighters, so you have to put them against other good fighters, and they just continually knock out contenders. And then they knock out even non-contenders like Maya, people who already lost the belt. So she's winning the fights that she's kind of set up to lose. And that matchmakers hate that. And then she set a record tonight for like 10 wins and 10 decisions or something.
Yeah, first UFC fighter. First UFC fighter with 10 wins, all decisions.
Wow, good. But that's a Hall of Fame type of plaque or something. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Court McGee got 2 finishes when he started his career. The fool. This could have been his record.
Fool.
He almost got his first finish today since 2010. If he had he hurt Brahima really bad at the end of the first round, but just ran out of time. And I'm like, holy crap, McGee almost finished someone. This is wild.
Court McGee is one of those guys that just not ends careers, but he definitely sends them in a downward spiral. He's just that guy. It's really hard to fight that guy. If you beat him, good things happen. But if he beats you, it's usually even the aftermath of it all is not good. He just teaches you some lessons you never forget.
I could be wrong. Someone tweeted at me that, because I was talking about just Court McGee, how much I love. He's like this. I just love watching him fight because he doesn't seem to have a lot of talent. He's just grindy and just has a lot of heart. And he has a good story. He just seems like a good dude. So you kind of still root for him, even though they're not exciting fights. He's just I just can't root against Court McGee. But I think everyone he's beaten outside of, did he beat Robert Whitaker? Court McGee?
No, Robert.
No, he lost.
Robert could beat him.
Oh, okay, yeah. We're talking about if you lose to him, you just don't ever come back. You just kind of disappear in the MMA Tapology pages.
Yeah. Into the abyss. All right, let's go to the peeps. The peeps. They waited a long time for events to come back, and here we are.
Question.
No, keep it up there. Keep it up there. Keep it up. Put it in the corner. Put it in one of these corners.
All right, here we go.
I thought about that. I did think about this heading into the 5th round, which is kind of fitting because that was the whole conversation heading into the 5th round of the Max Holloway fight. But to be fair, Holloway landed triple the amount of strikes that through 4 rounds than Kattar had landed. But it was getting pretty dicey at that point. I mean, there's the argument to be made that you let a fighter go down and shield. Casey, you say something that I always remember. You earn that ass whooping. You earn the right to finish out the fight and get that ass whooping. But at the same token, there's the other side where people look at fighters and coaches and say, dude, you're not going to win, so let's just live to fight another day. So, and I get both arguments. So did that thought cross your mind, AK? Was it getting egregious to the point where they're like, maybe his corner should stop it? Because I didn't see a lot of that on social media, but it did cross my mind at some point.
Yeah, no, I definitely thought about it, but no, not even just specifically this fight. Like I think about that on a lot of UFC cards. I know this is as good a time as any to discuss it because it is our first UFC card of 2022. But like, I wish more coaches in general would throw in the towel. Like I know there's some amazing moments in MMA, but fifth round come from behind finishes are pretty damn rare. Same with whatever third round come from behind finishes is super rare. And I understand they'd become even more rare if teams and coaches started throwing in the towel. But I don't think that's a bad thing. If you're sacrificing a few crazy moments a year to preserve health, as you said, help your fighter to compete, on another day. And I think that's a good thing. So it certainly crossed my mind, but not in an egregious way, like, oh, this is like the worst, beating I've seen since da 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 da. Just in a general sense of, I wish this would happen more in MMA. Hope Giga's very tough. His pictures of his face are circulating on social media right now. People are taking screenshots and circulating, the UFC photos, and it looks brutal. And that's how he looked after 4 rounds. It was only made worse by the 5th. But I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. This culture shifts. But yeah, of course, I thought about it.
And it's also more than a culture shift. It's a financial shift too.
Mm-hmm.
People compare this to boxing, and most time in those boxing matches, you're saying those boxers are receiving just one flat purse. You have to remember, if those coaches throw that towel in, Giga walks home with half his paycheck. And that's a big thing that people kind of always forget. And also, imagine if I'm kind of playing devil's advocate a bit for not throwing the towel in. Imagine if Cordero throws the towel in toward the end of the 4th round. Does that get fight of the night then?
Right.
Giga doesn't get $50K.
Probably. That's $50,000 right there.
I think if that fight gets, if that towel gets thrown in,
that second round alone won them fight of the night.
I would hope so.
That second round was ridiculous.
I'm just saying it's not a guarantee. There's no guarantees, of course, of fight bonuses, but that's all I'm trying to say. Like, if I think it's much less likely to get fight of the night. Maybe this card's a little different because there was like no exceptional fight. Kind of we're gonna remember it into the year outside the main event, but yeah, I'm just kind of the financial incentives, disincentives of throwing in a towel. People have to remember that too.
Yeah, this ties into fighter pay. It
goes back to fighter pay
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So good question, John Guy. Yeah,
but overall,
take towel too.
Yeah, take away all that. I don't think they should have thrown the towel in. I think Giga was still throwing hard enough, and he was always so dangerous enough that I don't think they should have thrown it. I think it was fine, not to throw the towel in.
Yeah, if you were gonna throw it, it would have been like the last 2 minutes of the fight, because then it was a lot. I mean, Kattar landed 73 shots, and every one of them landed, and every one of them counted.
Man, but like, I kind of say this like, oh, it's just 30 more seconds, man. But taking 30 more seconds of taking shots in the face from Calvin Kattar, that's 30 seconds. That can change your life in a very bad way. So it's a tough decision, but I think Casey, seeing my name there. I think
we've seen worse. We've definitely seen worse.
Yeah, I've seen worse. Yeah,
no doubt about it. All right, thank you for the question. What else we got? Joseph Boza, I knew Calvin was a tough fighter. It felt like Tyson needed the year off for Calvin because Tyson got so much crap for not throwing in the towel versus Max Holloway. He did. Casey, I think you were there. You were on that video interview with Tyson Chartier probably like a couple weeks after that fight. And listen, it's one of those weird things. And Tyson and Calvin and Rob and that whole team, they have the coach-fighter relationship is very it's very close and tight-knit throughout the sport, but the relationship that those guys have is just, it's a brotherhood. When Calvin and Rob Font Calvin Kattar and Rob Font go to Tyson Chartier's house, they're Uncle Rob and Uncle Calvin. Like, that's how close all of them are. It's pretty wild. So yeah, I think this is good for Calvin. I think Tyson, the whole Tyson thing, after that interview came out, and maybe a couple weeks after that, it all sort of went away. That whole narrative of throwing in the towel, I think his explanation was fine. But yeah, I think this year off was just so good for Calvin, just to get his confidence back and just learn. And that's a lot of time to be pissed off and take it out on somebody. And he took it on Giga tonight. He's chock full of chips on the shoulder, and he used all of them tonight. So good on him. Good for the team, and good for Giga too, man. I think this should be mentioned so many times. The way he fought, the toughness he displayed, that chin, all of it, the durability that he had. He's in the durability Hall of Fame forever. No doubt about it.
It's one of those fights, even though we saw Giga get his butt kicked, we actually still learned a lot about Giga now for kind of in future fights. But also now a lot of the playbook is out there the blueprint is out there now, how to beat Giga. But also, you also got to be Calvin Kattar. You have to have that incredible forward pressure. But the blueprint's there now. We've seen it now. All right.
Yep.
Next question.
Pressure.
Yeah, if we can find him. If we can find him.
Yeah, Joseph Sean suggests Giga Chikadze versus Zabit Magomed Sharapov. But Zabit, we don't know where he is. We don't know where he is.
We just don't know, yeah. Hey.
Send out the search party.
And in this division, you could throw Giga. You could do Giga Josh Emmett. You could do Giga Arnold Allen. He doesn't have to fight like a top 6-7 guy. He could fight a top 15 guy. He could fight
Giga Bill
Bryce Mitchell.
Giga
if Bryce Mitchell beats Edson Barboza, you could do Bryce Mitchell versus Giga. That's a fine. That fight is just fine. You could do Bellagio. That's fine too. Why not?
Yeah. Actually, if I'm Giga's coaches, a guy like Bellagio seems right. We try to rush Giga, not rush him, but they try to really let's get him to that title shot. Ain't gonna happen. Let's take a few steps back, build up that highlight reel, and I think Bill, Mr. Senor Perfecto, might be the guy.
Yeah, there's heat there.
He might have talked himself into that fight.
He did them a favor throughout the weekend after getting the win. It's a good fight. Yeah, go for it. Go for it, Giga's team.
Yeah, September, October. That's probably when Giga comes back. I think Giga take a bunch of time off after tonight.
Well, considering if there's no breaks, if it's just just lacerations, I think it might not be too long. Remember, Giga's had a lot of kickboxing experience too, so I know every fight's different, but Giga will be fine. Let's talk about this man.
Anonymous do 1, 2, 3. Borshchev is his new favorite fighter, and why wouldn't he be after that ferocious body shot? Although Dakota Bush, I gotta say, this was, and I hate saying things like this, but I'm gonna say it.
Do it.
This was a night of just some pretty bad fight IQ, and Dakota Bush might be the captain of bad fight IQ tonight. He had Borshchev hurt, could have taken him down, but he said, you know what? I'm going to stand and bang with this guy who has one punch knockout power instead of taking him back to the ground where I had him in big trouble. I just didn't understand the strategy. I'm sure James Krause had enough to say to him after that fight, but he ate that body shot. It was nasty, and I thought Borshchev was going to knock him out pretty quickly because Bush took him down. They got back up near the fence, and it seemed like Bush started to slow down and like rest on his laurels. He was trying to get back to his feet, and I thought Borshchev was going to floor him right there and there, but Bush was able to get out of it. But yeah, that body shot was nasty, man. Nasty. And the dancing's even better, Casey.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
He should start giving bonuses. Yeah, Tom S., can we get a bonus for best post-fight celebration? God, yes. I mean, Chris Barnett would be an even richer man right now if that were the case. Yeah, look, so my prediction for the fight, I actually picked Bush for the upset because what I thought Bush was going to do is just wrestle. Like, I mean, the fact that he hurt him was great, but I think it should have been nonstop wrestling, just make it ugly, just drag this man down. Now, that's not to say that Borshchev can't deal with that. His past 2 fights, actually, he showed. And remember, he trains at a Team Alpha Male. So I don't know how he ended up there, but it's a very good fit for him because he has wrestlers up the wazoo in training. He knows how to deal with getting put in his back. He knows how to get up off his back. But his previous 2 fights, when he's taken down, he does take damage. He does have some. It does take some of his gas tank away. So I still think it's a very viable strategy to just wrestle him down, especially at this stage of his career. This is only his 6th pro fight, his 5th or 6th pro fight. So I thought Bush would focus more on that. But as you said, he got this wild hair up his ass where he just said, "Oh man, I hurt him, and maybe I can knock out this K1 kickboxer." Did not go his way. So I should have gone. I still think it was a smart upset pick. I stand by it. But Borshchev is not a turtle. Let me put it this way: when he's put in his back, he actually is getting better with his takedown defense and recovery with every fight. So this was the time, I think, to catch him with the wrestling. Now, I don't know. As we see him more and more, a lot of guys are going to try it, and a lot of guys are going to get messed up.
Maybe I am old, but I felt so old when he started doing that dance. I was just like, my knees can never.
Oh no!
I was just like, my knees. How does he do that? Like my knees. I feel like my knees are just like shoot out. if I tried doing that.
It was amazing.
Breakthrough fighter tonight. For sure.
Breakthrough performance of the year right there.
Breakthrough fighter of the year.
Yeah.
Could be rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Could be rookie of the year.
All right.
Hey, fingers crossed.
How old is he? Yeah. What's his age? Is he?
He's probably his 20s.
30. He's 30 years old. So
30.
30 years young.
30 years young.
6-1. 6-1 as a pro. Better get on him now because he's only gonna get better working with those crazies over at Team Alpha Male. That wrestling's only gonna get better.
Yeah. Thank you, Sheila.
Sheila.
Thank you, Sheila.
AK.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. Sheila, aka said he chose Team Alpha Male because he knew they were wrestlers and that he needed to work on his wrestling.
More fighters should do this. If you have the means to travel and relocate, this is more fighters should do this. He's a very smart man. And again, if you watch his 2 fights before this from Contender Series and I think like Titan FC or something, guys, check them out. They're on Fight Pass. If you whoever still has it, you'll see he gets taken down really badly 2 fights ago and gets hurt quite a bit. And then on Contender Series, he gets taken down and takes way less damage. And then today, taken down, back up. So there's this very visible like progression in his takedown and wrestling defense, and that's very scary, I think, for the rest of the lightweight division.
Has anyone gotten an answer on this? Was that the most elbows thrown or landed?
Like standing elbows.
Definitely standing. Maybe I want to count ground because a lot of times they'll pop out.
No, we see.
Yeah, but standing elbows. I want to see if someone finds that. That was insane.
Don't know. Michael Carroll, if Michael Carroll's out there,
yeah.
At MDC, flip the script.
All right. What we got here? Hit us up with last questions before we decide to go on with our night, fans.
Yeah, what do you got? Oh, did you see this one from Jay Gould? about one Mr. Dakota Bush.
Oh no.
We're going to talk about the lack of nickname being said on the
ESPN? Look, and this guy...
That one?
What? No, he didn't. No, there was. No, Jay Gould is asking, why won't the UFC let Dakota Bush use his epic nickname? Lame. So it's funny. Bruce Buffer did not say Dakota Bush's nickname. This, by the way, also might be a mandate from ESPN, not the UFC. This card was on ESPN. I don't think was Dakota Bush. He wasn't on Contender Series, right, Mike? No, right? No,
he was a straight
LFA. I think it came from the LFA, right? I know his last LFA fight, I believe it was said. I think both times in the UFC his name has not been said, and I think both times because he's been on ESPN Plus or ESPN, so it's probably not going to happen. However, apparently it's okay to say Raw Dog. Raw Dog's all right. We're okay with the guy, and then saying 2022 or 2020, whatever, is the year of the Raw Dog. Guys, it's not the year of the Raw Dog. Just for the record, going by the Chinese lunar calendar, it is the year of the tiger. Please do not live your life like it is the year of the Raw Dog, whatever the hell that means. It doesn't sound good. I love Brandon Royval. That nickname's got to go. And please don't tell people it's the year of the Raw Dog. It's just nasty.
Yeah. Plus he dropped about, I don't know, 7,000. Oh, there's the photo. Holy cow.
He swore a lot.
Yeah, he dropped about 7,000 F-bombs in his post-fight
No
interview.
bleeping. No bleeping.
Yeah, no bleeping. It's 2022, man. We get to hear all the bad words.
Yeah. Because they're at ESPN. I'm sure Royval's got a talking to in the back.
Yes. Yeah.
From the team.
He apologized for a lot of things except to swear. He said 2 things. The 2 things he said the most were "I'm sorry" and the F word. But he did not say "I'm sorry" about using the F word. So that's a key you have to remember.
Will Raw Dog ever be a champion? I don't know. Time will tell.
In the UFC?
Yes, in the UFC. No, in life, AK.
In life already, clearly. No, but I mean, it could mean like Bellator. It could mean Bellator, PFL. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if his ceiling is UFC champion. But stranger things have happened. For sure, he needed this win to stay in that conversation. But I mean, if I had to guess, I'd say no. No would be my guess. But if he changes his nickname, maybe.
He's got his style. His style is could be a pain for a lot of people. So I mean, I don't know. We'll see. He's got to get there first.
AKC, look. It is a real thing.
Justin Boyarski shouting blood incantation in all caps, 4 exclamation points, and then the sign. Okay, that's not appropriate. The sign of the devil. That is not appropriate.
See, it's very legible. Don't worry. All right.
You know what? Could someone in the comments explain it? I won't ban you. Just please try to be. This is the one moment. People, creeps and weirdos, this is your time. If you would like to explain to Sheila why Raw Dog is a very
don't explain to Sheila why you're in the comments.
Someone should. I think people don't know. I think maybe the people at ESPN don't know, and that's why they're allowed to say it all the time.
Go see Darren Till's social media over the last 3 years, and
that's good advice. There we go. Look how Darren Till uses it, and that's why uses that phrase. There we go.
All right.
What is it? Did Adesanya use it too?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. We're getting a lot of these now. Yeah.
Oh, Ellen King, is this the year?
Oh man, Brian Kelleher. Did you see Brian Kelleher tweet? He's like, I didn't know it was the year of the Raw Dog, but let's do it or something. I'm like, no, Brian Kelleher, no.
Brian Kelleher had a very interesting night on social media.
Oh, and he didn't get to rap. Mike, he didn't get to rap.
Or call out. He wants to. He wants to do it on the MMA Hour. He called out Bryce Mitchell for a rap battle on the MMA Hour.
Well, he didn't get to say it on TV. He didn't get to say it on ESPN.
Yeah, there are a few of those tonight. I think Jamie Pickett was another one who wanted to say something else. He's like, "Ooh,
I
so
forgot.
close."
Hey, you know what though? Bisping's consistent. He's stingy with the mic, but he's consistent with it. He's not giving anyone. It's either no one gets extra time or everyone gets extra time. He's giving no one extra time. So be it.
No hesitation. You cannot hesitate in this world.
Hold it away.
When you got that mic in front of you, don't let Bisping take it away.
Bill Algeo certainly used his time.
You might not get it back. Yeah, Bill is all over the place.
He said a lot of stuff.
It was going so well for him, and then it just went off the rails. I was like,
He's talking about the judges. He got a standing ovation about adding 2 more judges, making 5 judges, and then it just.
Is Giga even a U.S. citizen? I'm not sure.
That's what everyone was asking. I was like, what? Why? Why? Like that?
You know, he doesn't live in Atlanta, Georgia, right? He's not.
I think that's what he thought. I honestly think that's what he thought. That he's from Atlanta, Georgia.
He's not from Macon or Savannah. He's not.
Yeah, he's not hanging around with Jed Meshew. I mean,
he might be, but not. But yeah. Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
all right.
maybe.
I'm hitting the music.
Okay.
Hit it. Listen, get some rest. Okay, I know we're all excited. First one's in the books. Because next week we got a pay-per-view, and we're gonna the post-fight show. Post-fight show just wrapped at 11:02. We're gonna be on like this 3rd main card fight at 11:02 next week. Okay, so the post-fight show probably is gonna happen for like 5 hours on next week's show. So UFC 270, Francis Ngannou, Cyril Gane for the heavyweight title. Brandon Moreno, Davis and Figueiredo 3 for the flyweight title. Interview with Brandon Moreno coming out in the next couple of days. It is glorious because Brandon Moreno is just terrific and fun to listen to. And I think we all need a little Brandon Moreno in our lives. So thank you very much for watching. For Casey, for AK, I am Mike Heck. Good night, everybody. AK, I'll see you tomorrow. For on to the next one, my friend.
I will see you soon.
Oh, AK.
What is the... My cousin Kevin Lee, I'll tell you when you're older.